Hi, I'm Angus Kress Gillespie, your host for Old Ways in New Jersey here on East Brunswick Television. I'm here today with Juke joint Jonny, a bluesman and a singer-songwriter. Born in Newark, New Jersey in 1950, he was introduced at a very young age to the folk blues in the ethnically diverse neighborhood of his youth. Jonny once said, "You don't choose the blues chooses you." The blues historically evolved as a distinctive style at the beginning of the 20th century, a synthesis of a number of traditions, including dance tunes, minstrel songs, secular ditties, and spirituals. The blues originated in African American communities as a form of folk music, but now, in the 21st century, has become another musical genre played by white musicians as well as by black musicians. Juke joint Jonny is a very versatile blues practitioner. Some of the songs evoke the Mississippi Delta, while others reflect the Piedmont or finger-picking style. At other times, he's joined by friends and his songs reflect the Chicago style of the blues with the addition of drums, piano, and saxophone. He's played in the big cities of both Europe and the United States, but today he's right here in East Brunswick, and it's my pleasure to welcome him to our studio. Jonny, when did you start playing?
Well, after Vietnam, I started about 1970 or so, but I sang from the time I was 8, 9 years old in choirs and different groups and did the doo-wop thing and all that back in the day.
So the instrumental part was as a grown-up?
Yes, actually I was 20.
And which instruments do you play nowadays?
I play guitar. I've dabbled in piano and harmonica, but the guitar, I play 3 different guitars in my shows, a National Steel guitar, a 12-string, and a 6-string, as I'm going to do today. And so it really takes up a lot of my time.
Yeah. So today we're going to keep it simple with the 6-string.
Yes.
Okay. What was the first tune you learned, or if you remember?
You know, the first song was a Elmore James tune called "Dust My Broom." And I picked it up from a Taj Mahal album.
So you were already leaning towards blues, towards African-American expressions, yeah.
Yeah, my life, I was born and raised up in Newark, and in my street, when I was growing up, there was Quonset huts across the street that used to be for the National Guard, and they turned into halfway houses for people coming up from down south. So our neighborhood was a very diverse, multicultural neighborhood, and the music from across the street kept emulating, and I kept listening and loving it.
That's really interesting. Was your family musical?
My dad played drums. He actually did a stint with the Bunny Bergen Band, who was a swing act back in the late 30s and early 40s, just before he went to the Second World War. And both my mom and dad are avid dancers. They were swing dancers, and there was music in my house 24/7.
Was your dad a professional drummer, or was this an avocational thing?
Well, he drove the bus, and then he sat in, and then he ended up getting the gig, and then he got married and gave up the music.
Okay, all right, yeah. But certainly you grew up with an awareness of
absolutely.
Yeah. Which famous musicians do you most admire? Putting you on the spot here.
There's so many, but I would have to say Ray Charles was my first ever. Came out of the radio and just grabbed me by the throat. B.B. King, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Mance Lipscomb. There's a ton. I mean, I could go on forever.
Well, there's Jimmie Rodgers, the father of country music, and then there's another Jimmie Rodgers.
Yes, there is.
And he has a song called "That's All Right." And as I remember, the idea of the song is, well, you don't love me anymore, but that's all right.
Yeah. And Jimmie Rodgers, the one we're going to talk about and play, was Muddy Waters' side guitar player. He seconded Muddy Waters throughout the 50s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And this song was actually his first foray out into the solo world, if you will. And the song is really a standard.
But and you do a mix of standards in your own material.
Yes, I do. Again, my whole life, I've loved the blues, and I like to really talk about, sing about the people that influenced me through my years, as well as being the songwriter and that.
Well, let's do That's All Right.
Okie dokie. Told me, baby, once upon a time, if I'd be yours, you'd sure be mine. That's all right. I know you don't love me no more, mama. That's all right. Every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. Told me, baby, your love is strong. I woke up in the morning, them big words were gone. Well, that's all right. I know you love that other man now, baby, that's all right. Every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. I see your face, I love to see you smile. Give me consolation every once in a while. Well, that's all right. I know you don't love me no more, baby, but that's all right. Every night I wonder who's loving you tonight.
That's a great song.
I love it.
Yeah, because it. How do I put this? He accepts the situation. He doesn't like the situation, but he's resigned to it, and he's determined to keep on living. He's not going to let troubles keep him down too long.
Right, but the hook of the song to me is the fact that he's actually wondering what she's doing.
Yeah, so he still cares.
He's giving her up, right?
Yeah.
He's giving her up, to whatever's going to happen in life. But he's still got her on his mind because that's where the blues comes from.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of generosity of spirit too, because he says he enjoys when he sees her smiling. That's very generous.
Yeah, and also very tender that they had something. This isn't just somebody that he met on a Saturday night dance. He had a relationship with this woman. Yeah, great.
Can you describe for us your very first instrument?
I had a Stella, which is the old Sears Roebuck's mail order, and I picked it up here in Newark, New Jersey, and it had a steel string, but I took that off because I couldn't play. My fingers would get really sore, and I used nylon strings for a really long time just to learn the chords, and then the finger picking thing is very, very intricate, and you do that 8, 9, 10 hours a day. Your hands really, really get blistering. So I learned how to use the nylon string for a while till I got my fingers up.
And tell us a little bit about the six-string that you brought today.
Well, this is a 00028 EC model for Eric Clapton. This is an Eric Clapton guitar made by the Martin Company, and it's got all the appointments that he uses. He actually plays this on some of his albums. The DVD called Unplugged, Eric Clapton, this is the guitar that he uses. And I didn't buy it because it was an Eric Clapton guitar, but I did buy it because I really love the sound. It's just got a really great sound, and it's got that blues body. Usually there's the auditorium model or the dreadnought model. But this is definitely a nice blues model for me.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to put you on the spot, but it must have cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Everything costs a lot of money these days.
Yeah.
I have 3 guitars that I use, and we're up past $10,000. And back in the day, my Stella cost what?
So when you're traveling, you have to keep your eye on them.
Oh, that's a whole nother story. We could go on for days how many guitars I've had stolen in my life. Because I'm a traveler. I have wanderlust really bad. I hit the road in 1970, and I basically just traveled all over America, Europe, Canada. I lived in Hawaii for 7 years. I did a bunch of touring there, and I've had more guitars stolen from me than Carter's got pills.
So, on a more pleasant note, tell me, what are some of your fondest musical memories?
Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you one that really stands out because in 1998, I met a guy named Albert Castiglia, who now has 4 albums out with Blues Leaf. Actually, just left Blues Leaf, and he's doing very, very well. And Albert is a friend of mine's nephew, and Albert would always come to the East Coast, give me a call and say, bring your guitar, let's jam. And he was playing with the great Sandra Hall out of Atlanta, Georgia, who also played with Jimi Hendrix. And invited me to go to a gig. I went to the gig, and we played the last set together.
That's nice.
And which was really, it's an honor.
Yeah.
It's an honor. And then at the end of the last set, they asked for an encore, and Sandra just looked at us and said, go ahead, guys. And we just played to play. And, well, there were people standing on the tables and yelling and screaming. They wouldn't let us off the stage. And that was one of my finest moments of playing with someone else, a band I've never met before. And it just really worked out for us.
And are there any more intimate moments that are memorable, like in your own house?
Well, yeah, absolutely. The moment that aha moment when you're trying to work a song or learn something, Robert Johnson is obviously very big in my life, and to learn Crossroads as close as possible to Robert Johnson is the big aha moment that I've had. And playing slide guitar as well is every now and then you make that happy accident, and it leads you to 5, 6 other things that you've been trying to work on.
Yeah, John Hammond has that movie out about where exactly was the crossroads.
That's right.
Fascinating stuff.
I actually went down to Clarksdale, Mississippi, and where 49 and 61 meet, there's this big sign now, the crossroads, and it's not true, of course, but it's a
nice local promotion.
Yes, right, absolutely. Well, that's what's happening down in Mississippi. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not really sure, but the historical aspect of the blues is a very big tourist attraction.
Yeah, well, Mississippi needs all the help it can get.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. Do you still have your old records?
No.
No.
I did have over 3,000 records at one time when I was living in Minnesota. But like I told you, I've got wanderlust really, really bad, and I just couldn't carry everything with me. So they have gone by the wayside.
Yeah, so you have CDs now.
Well, yeah, and actually, I have to be honest, I don't listen much. These days, I have a CD out of my own, and I'm doing a lot of traveling and a lot of playing, and I really don't have a lot of time to sit and listen anymore.
What's the title of your latest CD?
It's called Pure and Simple.
And when did that come out?
Last June of 2012.
Okay, so it's it's virtually brand new.
Yeah, virtually brand new, and happy to say I wrote 10 of the 12 songs on it, and I'm very happy with it. Blues Leaf was kind enough to sign me, Blues Leaf Records, and Blues Leaf Records is a really good label because they let you do what you want to do. They're really artist oriented. So I was never told what to do, never told that that wasn't going to work. We just put it out there.
That's very unusual.
Yes, it is very unusual. But again, this is the blues, and it's not a big money maker. You have to have a passion for this music. Blues Leaf was very nice to me. We've done very well with this album, and working on number 2. Going to record in September. So life is good right now as far as my musical career is concerned.
And have you been in any competitions?
No, I don't believe in them.
Okay, that's interesting.
This is very personal to me. I play the blues, and I have a passion for it. But to compete against other blues players, to me, I never did go once for the head cutting sessions and all that. I know they're legendary.
Yeah.
And it has happened in my experience. But I don't look to be better than others. I look to
be the best you can be
and be the best I can be. Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's the Army slogan. What's your favorite public performance venue?
In New Jersey, Tim McClune's Supper Club has been my home for the last maybe 5 years, and I just absolutely love it there.
Where is it?
Great acoustics. It's in Asbury Park, right next to Convention Hall. And it's the old Howard Johnson's in the round building.
Yes.
And, it's a great place. It's my Carnegie Hall. It's got great acoustics. It's a beautiful setting. And again, I was the only blues band there for a really long time.
And what's it called?
Tim McClune's Supper Club.
Okay. Other New Jersey venues?
Stanhope House is a great place to play. There's a new place called the Robin's Nest that I enjoy. I've played all over the New Jersey area, but I have to be honest. My favorite venues were in Europe. Because the European venues are concert situations no matter what you're doing. Where here in the States, a lot of the blues clubs are basically somebody's watching the Yankees play while your band is playing.
Well, that's true. Like people are drinking, they're talking, and they're not really necessarily paying attention.
Right. You're a secondary to the whole aspect. And then later on, of course, when the alcohol starts to flow, things might work your way. But I play acoustic music, and even my bands, even if there's a 6-piece, it's all acoustic. So we're not trying to overpower people. We're trying to talk about what we're doing, and then of course I try to put in as much of a seminar aspect of it as I can.
Sure.
Because I love it. But Europe was my favorite place to play, and still is.
Now we said before, like, you do a few standards as sort of tributes to the greats, but you write a lot of your own material. And on your latest CD, one that I was struck with was "Come On Up," and I like it a lot because ostensibly the male singer is trying to seduce the would-be woman by means of food. And so there's a whole litany, the chickens in the oven, and there's the collard greens, and the hush puppies, and the fried cabbage, and the peach cobbler. But it's really not about food at all.
Right, it's all a diversionary tactic.
And that's alluded to by the goose down pillows. Rest your head.
Right.
So
well, what he wants to do is he wants to feed her and get her some alcohol and then dance and, just basically have a wonderful day. But it's got to end up, where it's supposed to end up.
Right. Can you do it for us?
Sure, I'd love to. You a real good looking mama, come to my house tonight. You a real humdinger mama, come to my house tonight. I can get down home dinner for your mama, gonna treat you right. I'm gonna treat you right. I pop a chicken in the oven for your collard greens up in a pot. I pop a chicken in the oven for your collard greens up in a pot. with some candy jams and okra. Mama, that ain't all that I've got. Pan-fried catfish, hush puppy Johnny cake. Pan-fried catfish, hush puppy Johnny cake. With some Louisiana hot sauce, mama, for goodness sake. Oh, for goodness sake. I make a fine peach cobbler, I'm told it's second to none. I make a fine peach cobbler, I'm told it's second to none. With a double scoop of ice cream, mama, gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. Have some fun, John. We'll drink white lightning, baby, from my liquor still. Drink white lightning, baby, from my liquor still. Oh, have another, baby, drink until you get your fill. Until you get your fill. We'll dance until morning, then we'll slow drag and hippie shake. Dance until morning, baby, slow drag, hippie shake. If you get a little hungry, got coffee and a buckwheat cake. I got buckwheat cake, baby. I got a goose down pillow, baby, on my big red bed. I got a goose down pillow, honey, on my big red bed. I know you ain't tired, mama, come on in and rest your head. Come on and rest your head. Well, you a real humdinger. Now come on over tonight. Oh, real good looker. Now come on in and raise your head. Come on and raise your head, mama. Come on in and raise your head. Mama, mama, raise your head.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you.
And his intentions are quite clear there. He wants her to stay all night because he's already got breakfast figured out. Coffee and buckwheat cakes. Johnny, do you ever play for dances?
Oh God, yes. That with the big band, I do solo, trio.
Yeah.
But I do have a big band, and we love blues dance. Yeah. Is so wonderful. And, basically, again, that's where I came from. My mom and dad were big dancers. And, listening to Louis Jordan.
So when you put together the ensemble, what other instruments have you got in the mix?
Stand-up bass, drums, keyboard.
Nice.
Harmonica, sometimes horns, sometimes another guitar. In this day and age, there's a fine choice of very good musicians in the New Jersey, central New Jersey area, I guess everywhere. And so I have a lot of friends that are in my little black book of musicians. Yeah. And based on who it is and when it is and how much and all that, and make the phone calls and go out and
put it together.
Fun. Yeah.
And how did you make New Jersey your home base? Because you could be anywhere with this.
Well, I was born here. And my family lives here, but I've actually lived in Europe. I just came back from California. I was in California in the San Francisco Bay Area for the last 3 years. I actually recorded most of Pure and Simple in Emeryville, California, which is across the bay from San Francisco. And I do have a very healthy case of wanderlust, I must admit. But New Jersey, it's my family, and you always come home.
And your family puts up with that.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Okay. Do you ever get nervous before a performance?
Always. Always. There's an old saying that if you're not nervous to go out and entertain people, then you have no right to be there. because you have to have that edge. There has to be a way of you getting up and doing this day by day by day. And I always wonder if today's going to be the day that it didn't work.
Yeah.
And we're going on 44 years, and so far it's working, but you always have that in your heart.
It's part of professionalism.
Yes. Again, in the Marine Corps, we used to have a saying, if you ain't scared, you ain't right. It's no one just goes out there. And if you're bored or if you're taking a laissez-faire attitude, you don't deserve to entertain people.
Yeah. And, Jonny, finally, the Piedmont style. Can you tell us a little bit about it and maybe give us an example from Almeida Tickle?
Okay, great. I've actually, it's hard to say because I came to the Piedmont blues through other players, and of course, Blind Blake is the man.
Yeah.
And through Blind Blake, I found a man named Johnny Jackson. And there's a DVD that I bought, Masters of Country Blues Guitar. And John Jackson does this song, Never Gonna Happen No More, which is a Blind Blake tune. And watching him play finger-picking guitar is just, it's incredible. And of course, I'm well schooled in the Delta and the swing and all that. And so Piedmont's been my thing lately in the last maybe 5-6 years that I've actually tried to get to. And I wrote this song. It took me about 1.5 years because I just kept playing it and playing it and playing it. But John Jackson had a voice of an angel, very high-pitched voice, but he was an absolute monster guitar player with a sporting right hand. So whenever I do the Alameda Tickle, it actually should be called John Jackson Must Die.
Yeah.
Because he's given me an awful lot of trouble, I'll tell you. But I love the man, and again, Blind Blake had a sporting right hand. You just don't do any better than that. And it's a different thing. It's a different style from the Delta, that you're using your finger picking, but it's almost got a bluegrassy tone to it.
Yeah.
And it comes from the southeastern United States. The Piedmont mountain range actually comes here through New Jersey.
Yeah.
And there's not much to say except that when I play, this is the hardest thing I do.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So let me see if I can get through it.
Okay.